All right, so does Trey Lance want to be traded? This is the Fantasy Sports Boss. NFL hot stove action already starting in the season. The 2022 season is not even in the books. So the reason being is that Trey Lance has been putting out some cryptic messages on his Instagram account, basically hinting that he's unhappy and that he might want out of San Francisco. Of course, Lance has not been able to stay healthy his first 2 years in the league, and this year he was supposed to be the starter. From week one throughout the course of the season, really was facing a breakout season. It looked like everybody in the fantasy football community was on board as well, given the strong arm, the supreme athleticism, the ability to run and pick up chunks of yardage on the ground, a la Jalen Hurts, a la Justin Fields. So Trey Lance was a very popular sleeper in fantasy football drafts this past summer. Of course, he only makes it a game and a half into the season before he's lost for the year. Just a tough break, a real, just crummy situation for Trey Lance all around. Opens the door to Jimmy Garoppolo, who of course plays well. And then he too is lost for the season with injury. Enter in Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. The story of the NFL season so far has done nothing but win every single game since becoming the starter, putting up, multiple touchdowns, whether he's throwing it, whether he's even running it every week. And of course, last week was just unbelievable in this first playoff game, accounting for 4 touchdowns as well. And, right now, the 49ers going forward, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be back next year. How do you, especially, we don't know where this is going to end up with Brock Purdy. Are they going to go to the Super Bowl? Could they win the Super Bowl? I said they're going to get to the Super Bowl. Even before Purdy went in there, I just very confident in this 49ers team. But if Purdy, let's say, even gets to the NFC Championship, he's going to be the quarterback for the 49ers next season. You cannot go back to Trey Lance after what Purdy just did, even if he loses the playoff game this weekend, which I don't think he will against Dallas. So that is the reason why. And certainly Trey Lance is not a dummy. He sees what's going on. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows that Brock Purdy is probably now past him on the depth chart. So he's putting feelers out there, mainly the Tennessee Titans, back channel hints that he wants out. Now, the Tennessee Titans make a lot of sense. Ryan Tannehill is going to be cut loose. He's 35 years old, clearly on the decline of his career. Once he started losing his legs, already just a shaky passer as it is, just like a la Russell Wilson in Denver. Once the speed started to go by the wayside for Tannehill, he no longer was able to work off play action and not be and was just not effective throwing the football. They drafted Malik Willis, who was an absolute disaster when he got on the field. Now, to be fair, he's a rookie coming from a small program in Liberty. He's got a lot of natural abilities, such as top-end speed, strong arm, but he, like Zach Wilson, just doesn't have the feel for the position. I didn't like Willis coming out of the draft, just like Zach Wilson, because he doesn't have the finer points of the game down, such as footwork, reading defenses, ball placement, all the things I knocked Zach Wilson on, I'm going to knock Malik Willis on. And I think the Titans already know this, and they're not going to even depend on Malik Willis next season. So makes a lot of sense. Trey Lance could be the guy that the 49ers trade to the Tennessee Titans, try to recoup some of the draft capital they spent trying to get Trey Lance. And how about this? All of the draft capital that the 49ers spent to move up to draft Trey Lance, and they wind up having an incredible season with Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick of the 2022 NFL draft. You can't make this stuff up. It's unbelievable. So Trey Lance moving on most likely next season during the offseason. If he goes to Tennessee, or where he goes anywhere where he's going to be the starter, he's going to be relevant again in fantasy football because of that dual threat passing, running ability. He will be interesting again in drafts next summer. You could take it to the bank. All right, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. More offseason videos on the way.